Okay, so I call this presentation Prepare for the Glare. If bright headlights and glare on roadways bother you after, when you drive at night, you're not alone. With the right strategies, the right driving techniques, and the right equipment, you don't have to make nighttime glare what I like to call a nighttime nightmare. Today, we're going to discuss the types of headlights that are out there that cause driver discomfort, types of headlights that drivers complain about, why vehicles on the road have these lights, and some suggestions on how to avoid headlight glare to minimize these issues. Drivers have been complaining about headlight glare ever since electric headlights replaced oil lamps on cars more than 100 years ago. In recent years, many folks think headlight glare has gotten worse. Has it? Has it not? The answer is it depends. And granted, new technologies, new auto designs, and a growing older demographic has contributed to an increase in complaints about nighttime glare. Okay. There are three main reasons for headlight glare. Many vehicles are now sporting fog lights or fog lamps and other extra lights on their vehicles. Other cars have high intensity lights, those really bright lights that bother you when you're driving toward a car. And other headlights are just not properly aimed at the roadway. They're aimed upward or they're aimed to the side, and that could be a problem many times. Okay, I'm going to go through each. Fog lamps do have a purpose. Ideally, fog lamps cast a low, broad beam to reduce backscatter from a vehicle's headlights when water droplets hang in the air. They're intended to improve the driver's ability to see on foggy or misty or during hazy conditions. However, when they're used on clear nights instead of regular headlights, that's when they really annoy other drivers. That's a problem. Okay. A lot of people complain about HID lights, high intensity discharge lights. We see a lot of them on the road. Unlike conventional bulbs, HIDs don't have filaments. Instead, they use high voltage electrical arc to ionize what is called a xenon, Xenon gas to make the headlights glow. HIDs emit twice the light of halogen headlights on most cars, and they produce a blue-white light while others look yellow in comparison. You either love them or you hate them. I would say most drivers who have them love them, but drivers who face them probably hate them. Drivers who face them find the amount of light emitted from these cars and the blue light very, very blinding. They're approved by the government. Manufacturers can use them. And a AAA Foundation study, the AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety, is the research organization of AAA. They have found that 1 in 5 drivers reported at least occasionally they receive high beam flashes from other drivers because those drivers thought the lights were too bright or they had on their high beams. So they do bother people. Finally, when headlights are misaligned, they can cause problems. Another study found that headlights that are pointed as little as 1 degree too high, if your lights are supposed to be this way and they're up this way, that can make a difference to oncoming drivers also. A misaimed beam doesn't cast as much light on the road where it's most needed. So that's a problem for the driver. Studies also have shown that almost half of vehicles in states that require regular inspections, Connecticut is not one of them, had at least one improperly aimed headlight. Connecticut no longer, it's been maybe at least 20, 25, maybe 30 years, no longer requires vehicles to be inspected unless they are a very old car. Vehicles that are more than 5 years old are also twice as likely to have off-kilter headlights as newer cars. And usually you'll have to bring your car to a dealer or a garage to determine if your lights are misaligned. An easy way to determine it is to place your car against a wall or face your car against the wall or a garage door, put your headlights on, and you might be able to tell if the lights are off. But generally, you're going to have to go to a professional to correct it unless, you have mechanical abilities. Most of us don't. So higher lights on SUVs is certainly a problem. Many times trucks, like the ones the kids use to lift, these big F-150s, they're on huge tires. They have lights that are higher than normal cars. And federal standards say no headlights can exceed 54 inches in height. So think about this. I'm 5 feet tall. So if the lights are higher than 5 feet, 54 inches, that's going to be a problem. And many of them are on the road. Many light trucks, SUVs, their lights right higher than regular cars. And as a result, it becomes a problem for drivers because those higher lights shine directly into your eyes or they blind you from behind because they're reflected in your rear view mirror. This has been a leading complaint from drivers because the lights on SUVs and pickups shine directly into their eyes or in their mirrors. It's a real problem. Okay, so who's most at risk for glare? Like beauty, glare often is in the eye of the beholder. Drivers, middle-aged and older drivers are usually more sensitive to glare than younger drivers because it takes longer for our eyes to adjust to changing light levels. The aging process usually affects the vision of older drivers. And as you age, you need more light to see. So for example, a 55-year-old, it takes about 8 times longer to recover from glare than a 16-year-old, who's a bit more adaptable because they're younger. And as the population ages, the number of older drivers will rise along with the number of complaints about glare. And of course, many drivers have certain other conditions that increase their sensitivity to glare, just like cataracts and glaucoma and macular degeneration. So it's important, that you get your eyes checked periodically. So again, how do you prepare for the glare? Most of the suggestions I'm going to make are very basic. They're very common sense. However, they're not perfect. They will help minimize some issues you might face on the road. But I'll go through each. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. So one of the easiest things you can do is clean your headlights because dirt diffuses light and causes glare that can temporarily blind other drivers. clean your windshields. Streaks, smudges, road grime, all on windshields, all catch and reflect light. You may have scratched eyeglasses. That makes, your vision worse. Use a microfiber cloth when you clean your windshields or clean your headlights. Don't use paper towels. Paper towels causes streaks, especially on the inside of the windshield when you're driving into the light, to the sun. You're going to see all these streaks and it's going to impede your vision. Clean your wiper blades. You can use rubbing alcohol on a rag or a cotton ball. And especially when they start skittering across your windshield, if they skip, if they smear, that's the time to replace them. And frankly, you should be doing this with your windshield or your blades on any car, whether you have fog lamps or head HIDs, because your vision is quite important when you're driving. In fact, 90% of your inputs come from your visions when you drive. So that's very, very important. Aim your headlights correctly. As I said earlier, most of you most likely will have to go to a professional to re-aim your headlights if you feel they're off kilter. Many states require, as I said, regular safety inspections. Connecticut is not one of them. The other thing too is many times your headlights, I kind of make a joke, your headlights become cloudy. On the outside they do, and that's easy. You can buy a variety of products in auto stores to clean the outside of your headlights. However, the inside of the lens becomes very cloudy. And something like that, you will have to take to a professional to replace. It's not an easy job. On my car, for example, I have to replace the front fender. I have to take the front fender off to get to the headlight. So this is something I go to a professional to do. It may be pricey, however, but it may be worth your while. It's probably more than $100 to do that. The other thing that's easy to do is to properly align your side view mirrors to reduce your blind spots, but they also reduce glare from vehicles behind you. Some cars have rear view mirrors with a small lever on it that allows you to flip or adjust the mirror to minimize the glare. But more important is setting your side view mirrors properly. And I'm going to explain that in these graphics here. Under, like most folks, and this is a problem my husband has, most folks set their mirrors in the traditional mirror settings. They set their mirror so that they pick up a sliver of the back end of their car. You don't need to know where the back end of your car is. As a result, that increases your blind spot. What you need to do is open up your view, set your mirrors, and see on the right-hand side is the enhanced mirror setting. Take your mirrors and position them outward. And I have a video that's going to show you how to do it. That will minimize your blind spot. Now, to get a better idea on how to do this, I'm going to show you. Hold on. Let me see if I could share my sound. Okay, if you don't hear the sound, interrupt me and let me know, okay? Hopefully this will work.
Do you know the old adage, you have to look before you leap? Well, the same applies to driving. You need to see where you're going to get there safely. And on today's autofocus, I'm going to show you how to properly adjust your side view and your rear view mirror. Yeah, seems simple enough. You adjust your mirrors till you can see behind you and everything's great. But there is a technique so you can see into those blind spots behind your car and see that car coming up behind you. Now, the proper way to adjust your driver's side view mirror is to lean your head all the way over till just about till you touch the glass like this. Then adjust your mirror until you just see beyond your car. You should just see just that little sliver. You shouldn't see that. You're going to adjust just beyond that. What that's going to allow you to do is to see past that blind spot. You don't need to see your car. You need to see the lane next to you and to see the car that's in it. Now, with the passenger side view mirror, you want to lean as far over towards the center as you can and adjust that mirror till you see just beyond your car. That will allow you to see into that 3/4 view blind spot on your passenger side. Now, for the rear view mirror, a lot simpler. Most people do this right. Obviously, you just want to adjust it till you see right behind you. If you're in that Jeep right there and you want to be in this turn lane, what do? You check your side view mirror, you don't see a car there, and you pull on in. And then suddenly, boom, there's a car there. Now, if your mirror was adjusted properly, this is what you would have seen. Take a moment, adjust your mirrors properly. A well-adjusted mirror can actually save your life. I'm Ben Italis with this week's Autofocus.
Okay. So, does anybody, I don't know if I could see you guys, does anybody use the enhanced mirror setting? We teach this in our driving improvement classes, and it really, truly helps your driving abilities, and it also reduces glare in the side view mirrors. So it's something that you should consider. In fact, I have to look for it, but I'll do it after the presentation. I have an explanation written out on how to set your mirrors, because you probably are not going to remember if you don't do it. And I'll send that to Jan too, okay? So anyway, one of the last things that you can do is to get your eyes checked regularly. That's a no-brainer. The American Optometric Association recommends full eye exams every 2 years for persons under 60 years of age. But if you're older, you should do this annually. As I mentioned earlier, age makes your eyes more sensitive to glare, but certain medical conditions like cataracts and other issues do increase your problem. If problems are detected early, as you know, you can get treatment. And again, go to an ophthalmologist, an actual medical doctor, rather than an optician or an optometrist, because they have the capabilities, they have the resources, they have the skills to determine whether or not you have a medical problem. So I've got some behind the wheel tips, other things that you can do. So first thing you can do is when oncoming vehicles shine light directly into your eyes, what you need to do is avert your eyes. You could look down at the road as you're passing the car, certainly slow down, but look down at the road, avert your eyes to the white line on the right-hand side of the road, or the area where the pavement meets the shoulder until the vehicle passes you. You know, you can still see the cars around you with your peripheral vision, but the glare won't bother you as much because you're not using the most light sensitive part of your eye. All cars have day and night interior mirrors to reduce reflected glare from the cars behind you. You can change it. There's a little lever on most cars under the rear view mirror. Change it to the night setting by flipping that lever on the bottom of the mirror. This changes the angle and it appears to dim the mirror. One of the other things you could do is many eye professionals strongly recommend, glasses with an anti-reflective coating. You can get that put on your own eyeglasses. That will reduce the glare. Self sunglasses and self-darkening glasses, they block light, which isn't very good at night. But again, if you get anti-reflective coating on glasses, it'll improve your night vision and your day vision to help distinguish fine details during the day. There are sunglasses you can put over your regular glasses with a yellow tint on it. You can buy it at Walmart. They're about $20. Or you can put clip-on with a yellow tint on your regular glasses also. That helps mute the glare on roadways. On some upscale cars, they have self-dimming mirrors. They automatically dim as the glare becomes brighter. The mirrors become darker, and as glare diminishes, the mirrors lighten up. I suspect that they're on the more expensive vehicles. And finally, just be courteous. Use high beams judiciously. Use low beams in fog. Turn down high beams when you see oncoming cars. I mean, most of us do this already. But one thing I want to share with you is this. If you're in the market for a new car, you might want to consider purchasing a car with adaptive headlights. Most cars nowadays have standard headlights that simply shine light straight ahead. Adaptive headlights are on a pivot. They move in the direction your car is going. For example, if you're going up a hill, the headlights will go up a hill with you. If you're going down a hill, they go down with you. If you're turning a corner, they turn with you. This is what I'm going to buy in my next car. This video I have is from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, and it's a very short clip. It'll show you what adaptive headlights do. So let me see if I can do this again, share my sound. And here we go. Let's go.
Adaptive headlights help drivers see better on dark, curved roads. The active lights pivot in the direction of travel when a driver steers around curves or corners. The headlights adjust based on steering wheel movement and possibly the vehicle's speed to illuminate the road ahead.
So it's very, very short. Again, that's what I'm going to buy in my next car. I think it's the greatest thing since ABS and sliced bread. I haven't seen it recently, but again, I'm not in the market for a new car, but it's something to consider. It not only illuminates roadways for you, oncoming drivers will not necessarily be blinded by glare. So that's something to think about. So if all else fails, you've done all this stuff. Again, some other tips. Sometimes the best decision regarding night driving is not to drive at all. Not very practical. But again, you might want to do your errands during the day. Get someone else to drive you at night if it's a problem. Restrict your travel to routes on well-lit marked roads. Don't drive at night is a suggestion, but not very practical for many of us who have people to see, places to go. The next best thing would be to get an anti-reflective coating on your glasses or buy those sunglasses that you could wear at night. Many people swear by them. It's just something that you want to consider. And finally, okay, wait a minute, hold on. There is somebody in the chat. What are the brands of cars that have adaptive headlights? I'm sure Tesla has it. I don't know how many of us can afford a Tesla. There are a lot on the market that I don't have the brands for, but if you research Consumer Reports, great resource. They certainly have evaluations and explanations. Institute of Highway Safety, I believe their website is iihs.org. Excellent, excellent resource. They will give you a list of vehicles. Great question, Jan. I should incorporate that information next time I do this presentation. But again, these were all suggestions, and hopefully these things will help you out. I'm going to stop my share, guys.